You say yes, even when you're tired. Even when you don't have time. Even when a small voice inside you is quietly saying no. Someone asks for help. Someone needs a favor. Someone expects something from you, and before you even think about it, you agree. Later you feel drained, maybe even resentful. You wonder why you keep doing this. Why is it so hard to disappoint people? This is the psychology of people-pleasing. And despite how it looks from the outside, people-pleasing isn't really about kindness, it's about safety. Let's start with something fundamental about human psychology. Humans evolved in groups where belonging meant survival. Being accepted by the tribe meant protection, resources, and support. Being rejected meant vulnerability. Because of that history, your brain treats social approval as extremely valuable, and it treats rejection as a potential threat. This sensitivity lives inside what psychologists call the attachment system, the part of your mind responsible for maintaining relationships. When you sense disapproval from someone important, your nervous system reacts quickly. You try to repair the connection. You try to reduce tension. You try to keep the peace. One of the easiest ways to do that is agreement. Saying yes smooths the moment. It avoids conflict. It prevents disappointment. It maintains harmony. Over time, the brain learns something powerful. If I make others happy, the relationship stays safe. So the behavior repeats. Now here's something important. People-pleasing usually begins early in life. Children are extremely sensitive to emotional cues from caregivers. If love, praise, or calmness feels connected to good behavior, the child learns to monitor other people's moods closely. They become skilled at reading signals, a change in tone, a sigh, a look of disappointment. And when those signals appear, the child adapts quickly. They behave in ways that restore emotional balance in the room. This skill can look like maturity. But psychologically, it often means the child learned that maintaining others' comfort was their responsibility. So they grow up believing something like, if people around me are upset, I should fix it. Or even, my value comes from being helpful and agreeable. That belief quietly shapes adult relationships. People-pleasers often become highly empathetic. They anticipate needs before anyone asks. They remember details, support others, and offer help easily. From the outside, they appear generous and caring, and many of them truly are. But internally, the motivation can be different. Instead of giving freely, they give to avoid discomfort. The discomfort of saying no. The discomfort of someone feeling disappointed. The discomfort of possible rejection. So the brain learns to choose the safer option. Agreement. There's another psychological factor here called approval conditioning. Every time someone thanks you, praises you, or expresses appreciation after you help them, your brain releases a small amount of dopamine. That reward strengthens the behavior. Helping feels good. But if your sense of worth becomes dependent on that reward, it creates a subtle dependency. You begin seeking approval through usefulness. Your role becomes the reliable one, the helper, the agreeable friend, the supportive partner. And while those roles are valuable, they can slowly erase something important. Personal boundaries. Boundaries define where your needs begin and where others' expectations end. But people-pleasers often struggle to identify their own limits. They become so focused on maintaining harmony that their internal signals, exhaustion, frustration, resentment, get ignored. At first, it feels manageable. But over time, emotional fatigue appears. You start feeling overwhelmed. You feel like others expect too much. You feel like you're always giving. And yet saying no still feels impossible. Why? Because people-pleasing isn't just behavior, it's identity. If you've spent years being the dependable one, the idea of changing that pattern can feel risky. You might wonder, what if people think I'm selfish? What if they stop liking me? What if the relationship changes? Your brain interprets boundary setting as potential rejection. So the old pattern continues. But here's the paradox. Healthy relationships rarely require constant agreement. In fact, authentic relationships require the opposite. Honesty about limits. When someone never expresses their needs, others may not even realize there's a problem. They assume everything is fine, until the people-pleaser eventually reaches burnout. That burnout can appear as sudden frustration or emotional withdrawal. And when that happens, it often confuses the people around them, because the pattern never revealed the pressure building underneath. Now here's something empowering to understand. People-pleasing isn't weakness. It's an adaptive strategy your brain developed to protect connection. At some point in your life, being agreeable probably helped maintain emotional safety. But strategies that work in one environment don't always work in every environment. As adults, relationships can tolerate more honesty than our childhood brains expect. Most people don't abandon us simply because we say no. And when they do react negatively to reasonable boundaries, that reaction reveals something important about the relationship itself. Learning to shift out of people-pleasing doesn't mean becoming selfish or unkind. It means balancing care for others with care for yourself. A healthy boundary sounds simple, but it can feel revolutionary for someone used to pleasing. I can't do that today. I need some time for myself. I'd like to help, but I'm not available right now. These sentences protect your energy while still respecting the other person. And the more often you practice them, the more your brain learns a new lesson. Connection doesn't disappear when you express your needs. In fact, it often becomes stronger. Because real closeness requires two visible people, not one person constantly adjusting to the other. So if you recognize yourself in this pattern, remember this: your empathy is a strength. Your willingness to support others is valuable. But your needs are not less important simply because you're good at caring for others. Balance doesn't mean you stop helping. It means you help from choice instead of fear. On Psychtrum, we explore the hidden psychological patterns shaping everyday behavior and relationships. And in the next video, we'll explore another subtle habit many people share: why some people apologize constantly, even when they've done nothing wrong. I'll see you there.